Hello, my name is Larry Martin and I'm a solutions consultant with Beyond 20. Today I want to show you how to use the report writer in Cherewell to actually create a report that, instead of using prompts in a one-step to get like a start date and end date for a range, we want to actually use those parameters in a report so we can actually display them on the report itself. Now, I've already created a report, and as you can see on my screen here, I've got the project and portfolio management solution from Cherewell applied, because I actually had a customer that wanted a report that they could generate with a start and end range that showed all projects opened or closed in that range. So we're going to look at the various concepts of this, and I'm just going to show you this report that I've already created. So if we go up here to Tools, Reports, the Report Manager, we have my test report here. And all I'm going to do is we'll go ahead and look at the report properties. And as you can see, I've got a search group of all incidents. There's nothing, no prompts in that. I have no calculated fields, but we can use calculated fields to help get different data that maybe isn't in the actual report itself. Now, if I go into the report and do the design report, we'll start seeing where this all comes together. So right now I'm saying find all incidents in the system, whether they're open, closed, no matter when they were created, when they were closed. On my report, and this isn't all aligned and looking nice, that's just because it's quick and dirty, so I'll go ahead and align those. I've got my report, and I went through the report wizard. I brought the call source, created by, created date time, closed date time, and just a quick title for the name of the report. I also did add a sort down here to sort ascending on created date time. The magic to be able to show this report start date and report end date has to do with these parameters. So I created two parameters. So if I have my field list here, I can actually come down here and add parameters. So I added a report end date prompt. So it's just end date, no lookup, and it's a type of date. Left the value at the default, and I gave it a name. Same with the report start date, nothing particular there. So we have all of that. And then on the report itself, this is where you get your prompt and your filtering. So these help give you your prompt because these parameters will show up as a prompt. But right here, this little button in the top left corner, if you click that, you have this filter string that you can add. And this filter string gives you the ability to create an expression. It's a little bit different here. I could have done this a couple different ways, and it's done the way it is because I was trying to figure this out. But we're just going to add a parameter here, and I'll show you how we do this, or add an expression or condition for our filters. So this is going to be, I want to look at any project or incident where my created date time is between, here I did greater, equal, less, or equal like we would in a search expression. But in this case, I actually have the ability to say is between. Now be careful with this because between does not include my date necessarily. Now I can say is between, and my first option is a hard-coded value that I can pick and choose. If I hit this little pencil icon, it gives me the ability to compare it with another field's value. That's great. I can look at another field. I apologize, it didn't set there. Alright, so now I can look at the list of fields. That does not give me my parameters. But I can also look at date time constraints. So if I wanted to do, the date time is this year, etc., and next year, or, 2 months away, 2 weeks away, there's some really powerful capabilities here. Well, I really want to use my parameter. I want my created date time between my entered start and entered end date. Well, if I click this, now I have my parameters that I can use. So now I can say created date time is between report start date and And I already know I need to hit the pencil, I need to hit the list, and now I can choose my end date time because that's giving me my parameters. So now I have a prompt for start and end date, and I have a filter that says only show me the results where the created date time is between that start and end date prompt. And then I could create a second one instead of these 4. Then I could create a second one, turn this into an or instead of an and then do the same thing with close date time between the start and the end date. So I'm going to cancel this, and then I'm going to show you what the report looks like when you actually run it. So bear with me a moment. We're going to go ahead and run this report. And right here, this is so much nicer than prompting for a start date than prompting for an end date. Right off the get-go here, I can actually put in a value like 7/1/2018 because this is a demo czar, so it has the basic demo data. And then I can put 7/13/2018, and I can submit that. And there you have it. There's my report showing all the projects, in my case, that meet that criteria. Additionally, and again, I didn't align it, but I can also put my report start and end date ranges onto the report itself since I use those parameters. So I can see, we can format this. I formatted it to be month, day, year. It default will include the time, but you can actually put your report range on the report itself. So, it can come in handy when you're using a prompt in your search criteria. Those values aren't available to you unless you run you actually start from like a dashboard, run a one-step that prompts for a value, then you store that value in a stored value, then you prompt for the other one and store that in a stored value or variable, and then you can write that stored value or variable back out by adding it as a item in the report itself, calculated field, sorry. But that's just, it's a lot of complexity for something that actually can be done very simply through the report writer itself. And again, I used the report wizard to create the basic report, then I added my parameters, then I added my filters. Hope you find this information useful. We've seen it asked several times in community forums and stuff, and there's been partial answers, but no one's ever actually shown the entire process. So hopefully this will help anyone that is struggling with this or needs to use this in the future. Anyhow, please subscribe to our YouTube channel. We do produce videos on a regular basis for you. If you have any questions, feel free to tweet at us, email us, or just leave a comment in the YouTube channel and someone will respond. That response might be an email, or it could even be a video showing you how to do what you're asking about. Thank you.